All right, so now we're going to discuss a little bit about leveraging. All right, first I want to give you the definition. Leveraging is when you use capital expecting profits made to be greater than the interest payable. All right, so what you're doing is you're flipping the script here a little bit on the bank. The bank's going to lend you money at 5%, you're going to make 12% on that money. Okay, it's an integral part of real estate investing. Some people think that you can leverage in other types of investment. It's not true leveraging. This is for long term, right? If you're going to actually buy stocks, $100,000 worth of stocks, you got to have that cash. Even if they frighten you for the first 30 days, that bill is going to come to you where you have to pay $100,000 in cash for those stocks. No matter what happens, it goes up or down, right? Real estate is actually part of the real estate investing plan is to leverage. I get a lot of people tell me, oh no, I don't want debt. Debt's bad, right? Debt is bad. Some sort of debt, credit card debt, going on a trip, coming back and paying for a full year on your credit cards. That's bad debt, right? Leveraging and using the money to actually make money on top of it, that's just smart. Other people's money. You're pushing yourself. You wouldn't be able to buy a house if it wasn't for leveraging. You're leveraging the $20,000, $40,000 that you have to buy something that's worth $250,000. You're able to leverage that with the bank. Right? So it's all a form of leveraging, but this is actually for cash flow purposes. Leveraging, you need to this real estate investing 101. You've got to understand that, and you've got to be able to utilize it to the full advantage. Right? I'll give you an example. I had a client, I had a triplex a couple of years ago, and for illustrative purposes, I'm just going to use round numbers. Okay, property was worth $300,000, right? And it had a net operating income of $30,000. So you got a 10% return on investment. He said, Jacob, I want to buy this property in cash, right? He came in, evaluated the property, looked at the numbers, took a look at the rent rolls, and he saw everything was on the up and up. He said, I want to put an offer on this. He goes, but I don't want to borrow money off the bank. I got $300,000 cash sitting there. I want to buy it for the entire building. Well, first of all, there's one reason you don't want to do it, is real estate is not a very liquid asset. Real estate takes time to sell. So if you have an emergency come up, another opportunity comes up that you think is just a gold mine that you want to get yourself involved in, it's difficult. First of all, you don't want to sell it to go there, right? If you want to borrow against it, you got to go through the mortgage pre-approval process, appraisals, you got to go through the whole process all over again. If you want to actually sell it, it's going to take you anywhere from 60 to 150 days or more if you're in some of the different asset classes we were talking about earlier, right? So you don't want to tie yourself up. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So I explained to him, I go, well, why don't we leverage it? So I broke it down for him, and I showed him just how you can actually, not only make more money based on what you're investing, but you're actually going to be able to allow yourself to do other things with that money. You want to buy another property, you want, anything you want. So option B is you got the $300,000 property, you decide to put 20% down, so that leaves you with a $60,000 down payment. So right now, right off the bat, you've only used up $60,000 as opposed to a $300,000 original purchase price. Okay? Which leaves you with a $240,000 mortgage. So again, people are like, oh no, I don't want to borrow. Why would I borrow $240,000 if I've got $300,000 sitting in the bank? Well, first of all, when you're actually investing as a business, and you've got your accountant explaining everything to you, you're going to be able to write that mortgage interest off as an operating expense. We can't do that on our residential properties. In Canada, we can't do that. But you can as an operating expense when you're operating it as an investment property, when it's not your primary residence. Okay? So you've got a $240,000 mortgage, which will equate to about, today's rates, you're looking around 5%. I'm sure you can get much more competitive if you actually shop around. That's around $15,000 a year in mortgage costs. Okay? So your $15,000 mortgage, you're going to take that out of the $30,000 net operating income that you had earlier. Because your net operating income is still going to be the same. Now you got actual mortgage payments coming out of it, which is going to leave you with $15,000 as opposed to $30,000 from option A. However, option A, you're buying it for $300,000, which is going to give you a 10% return on investment. Whereas option B, you financed. So you got $15,000 return off of a $60,000 investment, which is a 25% return. Okay? This is just a very basic example. Leveraging is real estate investing 101. Doesn't matter how much money you have, All these big developers, they leverage, they borrow. No one's going to pay for anything cash. You never want to tie up all your assets in one, or all your money in one asset. Okay, so that's one basic example as to how it happens. Now again, like I explained earlier, this is just something that is one method of investing. Real estate investing has so many different options. And like I explained, if you're not looking to be a landlord, you don't want to actually invest in real estate where you have to do cash flow analysis and all this kind of mumbo jumbo, owning real estate is still a form of investing in it, right? So you've got to look at your own situation, but in the long run, I don't care what kind of graphs you show me, what kind of breakdowns you show me, buying real estate is the best type of investment for you in the long term. We're not the States. Everyone's scared. The newspapers are always yelling all these things. They want you to read the papers. But when you look at the actual statistics and all the figures, losing value in real estate is not a depression. It's going to be part of the cycle. No cycle is ever going to be just up. Okay, and we've had a fairly good 15 years in Canada. But again, we've done a lot of things, or the Canadian government has implemented a lot of things that prevent from anything happening anywhere close to what's happening in the States. So in real estate investing, you have to be ready for a down market, right? But what's going to help you is the cash flow model. And when the market's back on the up and up, the appreciation model. You're making money on both sides. But now it's not overnight. And that's exactly what it comes down to for the big why we were talking about. Nothing is overnight. Nothing worthwhile is going to be easy. And no one cares about your money as much as you do. So that's all I'm trying to get across to you is, listen, you might not, what I'm saying here might not strike a chord with you. You don't want to do long-term investing, you want to do the renters. There's a lot of different ways of making money in real estate, okay? But at least educate yourself. Find out what the different ways are, and you can go from there, okay? But number one, own real estate. Don't rent. Hey everyone, just want to let you all know that these videos are being shot in Durham region in Ontario. If you live outside the province, let alone outside the country, I would highly recommend consulting with a local real estate agent just to get a better idea as to how the rules and regulations might be different in your particular area. Also, if there's any questions, comments, or topics that you'd want to hear about down the road, please feel free to let me know. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, join me on Facebook, and last but not least, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.